Are you ready to take a ride through the twists and turns of your mind? Will you go where you have never gone before? Deep inside, to discover sides to yourself you have never seen before. That is what we are about to do, and it is called Kokology. Kokology, 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 Kokology. If you're familiar with Kokology, and you've seen the many other videos, then you're ready to dive in. And if you haven't, here's how it works. My voice will guide you through a series of 7 scenarios, and after each scenario, I will ask you a multiple choice question. It's all multiple choice questions today. You will answer with the first answer that you connect with. Every single question has 4 multiple choice answers to select from. Go with the one you connect with first. Do not give yourself the space to consider what the best or most logical answer would be. No, you go with the first answer you connect with. You got it? Does that make sense? Good. The answers are the key to the inner workings of your deepest drives, desires, cravings, longings, yearnings. So it's important that you go with your first select. And please, pretty please, remember, this is strictly for your entertainment. This is not a scientifically validated psychological assessment, okay? It's not a stand-in for psychological advice. It's a creative, relaxing adventure. This is for your enjoyment. It is not to diagnose you. I am not a doctor. I don't even think I look like one. Now, let's just take a moment. Take a moment here to settle. Settling into your skin. Feeling at home, coming home to your body. Taking a deep breath in. And hold it. 1, 2, 3, 4. Breathing out. Feeling your body growing more and more relaxed with every word. Closing your eyes if you feel cold. And preparing for our first scenario. Let's travel back in time. Back to the days where everything was washed by hand and wrung out to dry. The dirty clothes are starting to pile up, and you really need to do the laundry today. But when you look at the sky, you see dark clouds threatening rain. What goes through your mind? You have 4 options, and they are: number 1, seriously, I have to wait until tomorrow? What am I even going to wear? Number 2, let's wait it out a bit and see if the weather clears up. Number 3, well, I guess I won't have to do laundry today after all. Number 4, I'm doing this damn laundry whether it rains or not. Again, you have 4 options, and they are: number 1, seriously, I have to wait until tomorrow? What am I even going to wear? Number 2, let's wait it out a bit and see if the weather clears up. Number 3, well, I guess I won't have to do laundry today after all. Number 4, I'm doing this damn laundry whether it rains or not. Have you made your selection? Beautiful. Here's what it reveals about you. This is all about the little stresses we face in our daily lives. Your answer to this bad laundry day demonstrates the stress level you currently feel in your own life. If you chose, seriously, I have to wait until tomorrow, What am I even going to wear? Your stress level is at 80. You've been letting all the little things in life get to you, and now the stress has built up to the point that even the smallest annoyance can send you into a funk all day. It's time to take a break and relax before the stress starts affecting your health. If you went with, let's wait it out a bit, see if the weather clears up. Your stress level is at 50. You aren't overwhelmed by stress, and you manage to keep a good perspective when things don't go as planned. Keep working on problems as they arise, and you'll be fine. Remember, not all stress is bad. You can use the stress in your life to motivate you. If you answered, well, I guess I won't have to do laundry today after all, your stress level is nearly 0. You live by an easygoing philosophy. You don't let small problems bother you, and you don't see the point in worrying. If you said, I'm doing this damn laundry whether it rains or not, your stress level is close to 100. You feel so much stress in your life that you ignore reality and try to achieve the impossible. And when you fail, you end up with bigger problems and more stress than before. If you just take the time to relax and think things through, you'll see how much effort you've been wasting. Slow down and take it easy. It won't kill you to wear the same pair of socks one more day. Have you ever considered what really happens to us after we die? Do our souls move on to the next realm, or is death just the final boss? Do heaven and hell exist? How about reincarnation? People have questioned our aftermath for centuries, but the truth is we don't have the answers. Death is the ultimate unknown. But for this scenario, let's imagine the soul continues on after death. What do you picture the soul looks like once it's free from the body? You have 4 options, and they are: 1, it stays the same shape and size as it was when you were alive. 2, it expands in size. 3, it's tiny and shaped like a fairy. Or 4, it's a shapeless gas or a cloud. Again, your options are: 1, it stays the same shape and size as it was when you were alive. 2, it expands in size. 3, it's tiny and shaped like a fairy. 4, it's a shapeless gas or a cloud. Have you selected your soul? The way you picture the soul directly reflects how you see yourself. If the soul was the same shape and size as it was when you were alive, you have a strong sense of self-acceptance. You embrace all parts of yourself, including your flaws, and you genuinely appreciate who you are. Make sure to maintain that mindset as you move through life and keep discovering new ways to express self-love. If the soul expanded in size, you are not fully content with where you're at in life. You know there's much more to accomplish, and it makes you feel like your true self is much bigger than what you're able to show the world right now. That feeling of dissatisfaction can be a powerful motivator if you learn to channel it, but if you don't, it might leave you with a nagging sense that something's missing. If the soul was tiny and shaped like a fairy, even though you've got everything going for you, you still haven't figured out what it is that makes you truly amazing. This has created a loop of self-doubt where you constantly wonder what's wrong with you. The truth? There's nothing wrong with you. You're human and you're imperfect, just like the rest of us. Once you embrace that, you'll realize that being human has its own set of strengths and true beauty too. If the soul was a shapeless gas or a cloud, you're not fazed by your flaws or overly proud of your strengths. In fact, you're not even all that interested in thinking about yourself. This could indicate that you're either extremely shallow or incredibly wise. Whichever it is, it doesn't matter much to you anyway. Let's take a trip down memory lane to high school graduation. Can you picture it? Which of the following images of the ceremony stands out most clearly in your mind? You have 4 options, and they are: 1. The face of the principal handing out diplomas. 2. The banner that reads, "Congratulations, class of XXXX, whatever year." 3. The students standing proudly in their caps and gowns. 4. The graduation song. Again, your options are: 1. The face of the principal handing out diplomas. 2. The banner that reads, "Congratulations, class of," whichever year, XXXX. 3. The students standing proudly in their caps and gowns. 4. The graduation song. Do you have your selection? Very good. While graduation ceremonies follow certain fixed patterns, if you ask 10 different people to describe their impressions, they will likely describe 10 very different scenes. People naturally tend to focus on different aspects of the world and find certain types of information easier to recall than others. What you remember most clearly about your graduation shows the area where your memory is the strongest. If the face of the principal handing out the diplomas was the most vivid, you have a knack for remembering names and faces. Your ability to remember people makes them feel valued and important in your life. If the banner reading, "Congratulations, class of XXXX, whichever year," was the most clear, you are great at remembering numbers, dates, and birthdays. This makes you serious and dependable, and of course, you never miss an appointment. If it was the students standing proudly in their caps and gowns, you love reminiscing. Not only do you have the ability to remember a scene, but you're also able to feel the emotions associated with it. This makes it difficult for you to forgive and forget anyone who hurts you. If it was the graduation song, visual images may fade quickly for you, and what people say and what you hear is more important in your experiences. A specific melody or word can bring back the power of a moment and everything it holds. The echo of the gavel, the quick-fire arguments from the sharpest lawyers, the eerie silence as the decision is read aloud, doesn't get more dramatic than a courtroom scene. It's a high-energy clash of the minds where the line between right and wrong often blurs, and the idea of justice can get lost in the legal wrangling. If you were an actor in a courtroom drama, which of the following characters could you see yourself portraying? Your 4 options are: 1. The lawyer. 2. The detective. 3. The accused. Or 4. The Again, your options are 1. The lawyer, 2. The detective, 3. The accused, or 4. The witness. Have you made your selection? Here's what it means. In psychological terms, the actor is associated with the mask you wear when facing or dealing with the outside world. The role you saw yourself playing shows how you typically respond to a crisis. So, if you chose the lawyer, you normally keep cool in stressful situations, and you rarely let others see you stressed. But you also have another side that surfaces only under the most intense pressure, where you become hot-headed and explosive when the situation demands it. This combination of calm control and fiery passion gets you through even the most desperate situations. If you play the detective, you don't get swept up in chaos and confusion. While others panic, you remain grounded and clear. People sense and respect your ability to see the bigger picture, and they tend to turn to you for help when they are in distress. This means that trouble seems to follow you, but you don't mind it. In fact, solving a crisis makes you feel calmer. If you were the accused, you might seem tough and detached, but beneath the surface, you lack the ability to finish fighting your battles. When conflicts arise, you waste time second-guessing and judging yourself instead of directly addressing the problems. It's probably in your own best interest to align yourself with people who handle things more practically. And as the witness, you might appear cooperative and helpful in any given situation, but your flexibility and eagerness to please others creates trouble. By trying to get along with everyone all the time, you end up inconsistent and even a little untrustworthy. Don't worry about being a people pleaser. The only person you really have to please is yourself. The winding river is both a source and a symbol of life. Rivers provide fresh water, transportation, and places to bathe, swim, fish, and relax outdoors. And as a result, people have chosen to build their homes near them. So, imagine living in a home located near a river or a stream. I have 4 options for you, and I want you to tell me which best describes your property. Number 1, the home is on a small island in the middle of a river. Number 2, a wide stream flows past the home, and it has a narrow footbridge across it. Number 3, a babbling brook runs through one corner of the property. Number 4, the home is on a property that is crisscrossed by a maze of winding streams. Again, which best describes the property? Number 1, the home is on a small island in the middle of a river. Number 2, a wide stream flows past the home, and it has a narrow footbridge across it. Number 3, a babbling brook runs through one corner of the property. Number 4, the home is on a property that is crisscrossed by a maze of winding streams. Got it? The relationship between your home and the nearby water reflects your desire for social distance and personal space. If you went with a home on a small island in the middle of a river, you don't need infinite room to roam. Just a quiet place to call your own. A place where you can be alone with your thoughts and escape society. If you chose a home with a wide stream and a narrow footbridge, You maintain a small, intimate circle of friends and family, and hold the rest of the world at arm's length. You're a little harder to get close to than others, but that means when you consider someone a friend, you're loyal to them to the end. If there was a babbling brook running through one corner of the property, you don't make a clear distinction between your social and private life. You maintain an open door policy with the world and think of strangers as friends you just haven't made yet. Your openness and free spirit means that whatever happens in life, you'll never have to face it alone. If it was a home whose property is crisscrossed by a maze of winding streams, you live in a complex social network and are occupied by the relationships between yourself and the people in your life. There are times where you feel overwhelmed by the requests and obligations of the many different people in your circle. And now, you're seated in a quiet diner. You're still deciding what you want when the waitress arrives and asks for your order. Without thinking, you order a sandwich and a cup of coffee, but after she leaves, you suddenly realize you're in the mood for hot chocolate, not coffee. What do you do next? You have 4 options, and they are: 1. Continue reading the menu while thinking about how great the hot chocolate would taste. 2. Look around to see if the waitress is going to come back. 3. Get up and find the waitress so you can change your order. Or 4. Give up and just wait for the coffee. Again, your options are: 1. Continue reading the menu while thinking about how great the hot chocolate would taste. 2. Look around to see if the waitress is going to come back. 3. Get up so you can find the waitress and change your order. 4. Give up and just wait for the coffee. Did you choose? Great. As you know, making a mistake when you order, not the end of the world, but the way that you handled it suggests something deeper about your personality. Your course of action or inaction shows how you would react to a relationship ending. It reveals how long you hold on to a love gone wrong. If you continued reading the menu and thinking about how great the hot chocolate would taste, you don't know when to call it quits. You keep dwelling on the good times and fantasizing that someday things will return to what they were. Chances are they won't. It's time to wake up. Smell the coffee. Sorry. If you looked around to see if the waitress was going to come back, you worry too much about what people think. You're more concerned that people might be whispering about you getting dumped than you are about the actual breakup. Your pride might even be the reason why you got dumped in the first place. If you got up to find the waitress so you can change your order, you're not the type to feel down after a romance ends, mainly because you can't even believe it happened in the first place. Your reaction to a breakup is more a state of shock than mourning, and you'll do anything to escape the memories. Instead of turning to substances, a hobby might be a healthier way to take your mind off things. If you gave up and just waited for the coffee, it generally takes you one night's sleep to get over a breakup. A power nap would probably do it in a pinch. The question is whether that makes you thick-skinned, insensitive, or the most unshakable optimist in the world. Take a moment to picture your dream car without giving any thought to expense or other practical considerations. What kind of car do you envision yourself in? Again, there are 4 options, and they are: 1. A fully equipped high-performance vehicle. 2. A design masterpiece with a sleek, stunning body. 3. A status symbol ride with a price tag to match. 4. As long as it gets you from point A to B, you're good. Again, your options are: 1. A fully equipped high-performance vehicle. 2. A design masterpiece with a sleek, stunning body. 3. A status symbol ride with a price tag to match. Or 4. As long as it gets you from point A to B, you're good. Did you make your selection? Your taste in cars typically reflects your taste in members of the opposite sex. The features you want in your dream car reveal the things you respond to when looking for a partner. If you chose a fully equipped high-performance vehicle, ideally you want everything out of your car and your partner, which also means you're willing to appreciate the good qualities in everyone. Your varied tastes might make you look a little inconsistent, equally attracted to beauty, kindness, sophistication, humor, and charm, but this makes it possible for you to evaluate potential partners based on their own strengths, giving you a basis for comparison before making your final choice. If you went with a design masterpiece with a sleek, stunning body, there's little doubt that physical appearance is the key to your heart. It's not only finding someone whose looks appeal to you that's important. You also want someone you can show off to the world. The exaggerated emphasis you place on the exterior means it's easy for you to wind up with a lemon. Make sure to check under the hood before you drive anything home. If it was a status symbol ride with a price tag to match, social status and material success are crucial to you, and that translates to your choice of partners as well. The right family, the right school, the right career, for you, they all add up to make the right person. Ambition is not bad in itself, but your mate might not appreciate being another rung on the ladder to your success. If you thought, as long as it gets you from point A to B, you're good, you're happy with just about anyone who meets certain minimum standards, which makes you open, accepting, and forgiving. You don't expect others to fulfill your dreams, and you enjoy the same consideration in return. This could be a very smooth road to contentment, but when you think about it, it might mean others aren't expecting much from you either. And that's a wrap on our 7 Kokology scenarios. Please make sure to share how you felt about the answers, whether or not you connected with them, and what they evoked for you. Thank you so much for subscribing. This is another new setup, so let me know what you think. And I am sending so much love to you, and I cannot wait to see you here again very soon. We're about to play a game, but not the kind you can win. This is Kokology, aka psychological strip poker. It's cute and it's fun, but it also has a habit of exposing your subconscious in ways you may not have initially signed up for. These aren't just a series of open-ended guided visualizations. They're also a bit of an imagination trap. So here's how it works. I will hand you a scenario with specific questions, and you let your brain cough up an answer, and then boom, your inner world just outed itself. Here's the only rule. You have to go with the first answer that pops up. Don't polish it. Don't overthink it. Don't try to be clever. If your brain says spider or Gal Gadot or rotting sandwich, that is your answer. That is the real you. The second you start editing, game over. I will be walking you through 5 mind movies. Some are deep, some are relatable, and some will probably make you sit back like, why did that just come up? The fun part is the shock when you realize the offbeat thing that you just pictured actually reveals something much deeper about you. Small disclaimer, okay? This is not therapy. It's not, I repeat, it is not a clinical diagnosis. This is for unique insight into your mind and to have a good time, okay? So get comfy, put yourself somewhere quiet, take a breath in, let it out. Eyes closed if you want. Pretend you're about to binge a new TV series, only it's actually your own subconscious mind. Are you ready? Good. Scenario 1 is loading now, so here we go. Late one night, your phone vibrates with a new notification. System update available. But this one isn't from Apple or Android. The logo looks unfamiliar, almost alien. Against your better judgment, you tap download. The update runs instantly. When the phone reboots, the home screen wallpaper has changed. What image do you see? What is your new home screen wallpaper image? You scroll through your photos and you notice an album that you never created. Inside are hundreds of photos of you in places you've never been. Which picture of you disturbs you the most? Which picture? As you stare, the screen flickers and a short video autoplays. It's you speaking in your voice, but saying something you would never admit. What words come out of your mouth? What do you say that you would never admit? Finally, a notification appears. Your replacement is ready. Proceed with transfer. Do you press yes, no, or do you freeze? Yes, no, or freeze. Here's what your answers reveal about you. The new wallpaper is your contamination image, a projection of what your psyche believes is leaking into your life right now. The energy, emotion, or fear that is staining everything. What was your image? For example, if your wallpaper was replaced with vines or plant overgrowth, you may feel smothered by obligations, or a relationship or habit that seems too impossible to control. You're basically living inside your own emotional Jumanji. If the image was of a desert or dry, cracked ground, you might feel empty, lonely, or like you're running out of resources. A glitched screen means you feel that your identity is breaking down, and you're afraid people will see through the polished version of you. A repeated pattern, like an endless phase or spiral, signals overthinking or an obsessive loop. A blank white screen signifies numbness and a refusal to feel or acknowledge what's really going on. If the image was beautiful, that's aesthetic bleach. Something toxic or stressful is creeping in, but you're covering it up so you don't have to admit it. Now, the photo that disturbed you is the version of you that feels alien or unrecognizable. This is the you that you secretly fear might take over. Where the photo is taken shows where you fear being exposed, replaced, or erased. If the photo is in a public place, you are terrified your mask will slip and that people will finally see you as raw and insecure. If it was in a personal or intimate space like a bedroom, you fear your private flaws or desires will be discovered. There may be some anxiety that the real you isn't as admirable as the version that you show the world. If the photo of you is doing something wrong, this is a guilt fantasy. Some part of you feels bad for something even if you never act on it. You are afraid that your shame will end up on display. The words you double said are your repressed confession. The truth you won't let yourself say out loud. That thing you've been swallowing for years. Your shadow self just hijacked the mic and cut through the script you tell yourself every single day. And your transfer choice is your annihilation fantasy. If you said yes, you secretly long to be erased, remade, or freed from your own life. Surrender is much more appealing to you than you'd like to admit. If you said no, you're clinging desperately to your current identity, scared to let go and terrified of change, even if you're not exactly thriving right now. And if you froze, you live in denial and let time make your decisions for you. You pretend if you don't choose, nothing ends, but endings creep in anyway, usually when you're not ready. It's a sunny afternoon, and you wander into a tiny ice cream shop that, it smells like heaven. Sugar, waffle cones. You realize, man, you've been craving ice cream all day. You have the traditional ice cream flavors to choose from: chocolate, vanilla, strawberry. Which flavor do you choose for your first scoop? The clerk leans over the counter and asks if you want a second scoop from the secret menu in the back. There's Rocky Road, espresso bean, birthday cake, or black sesame. Which flavor do you pick for your second scoop? Rocky Road, espresso bean, birthday cake, black sesame. Which one? As the clerk hands you your cone, you look around the shop. Who else is inside the shop with you? Just as you're about to taste the ice cream, you notice it's starting to melt faster than normal, and some of the ice cream drips down your hand. What do you do? What do you do when it drips down your hand? Very good. On the surface, it's just ice cream, but your cone just told on you. What you let yourself want, what you secretly crave, who still haunts you, and how you handle desire when it gets messy. The first flavor is the person or type of relationship you admit to wanting. The version of desire that feels safe. For example, chocolate is passionate. It's a physical connection. You admit that you want sex and chemistry, but only if that looks socially acceptable. Vanilla is the steady, dependable partner. You want safety and predictability. Some call it boring, you call it peaceful. Strawberry, that sweet, tender romance. You want a visible, wholesome affair that everyone can see and applaud. Now, the second scoop is your forbidden longing. The one you don't admit. If you chose Rocky Road, you secretly crave chaos in love. You want those highs, the lows, the roller coaster that makes you feel alive. If you went with espresso, this is the forbidden crush. You are drawn to intensity, power dynamics, maybe even taboo attraction. Birthday cake is a regression fantasy. You want to be taken care of like a little kid again. No responsibility, just comfort. Or if you went with black sesame, this is unconventional desire. You're turned on by what's off limits. And no second scoop. You repress your hidden desires. You'd rather starve yourself of what you really want than risk exposing it. The other person in the shop is tied to an unfinished attachment, someone your psyche refuses to delete. If it's an ex, there's unresolved business here. It could be desire, maybe it's resentment, or the fantasy of winning them back. If it was a stranger, this signals your hunger for reinvention. You want a reset button, to be seen with no history attached. If it's a friend, you're measuring yourself against them, secretly comparing or competing. And if it's a friend who's not really a friend, you are tolerating people who drain you, stuck in dynamics you know aren't healthy. How you handled the melting ice cream shows what you do when longing gets messy. If you ate the ice cream quickly, you let craving take the wheel. When you want something, you pounce, even if it ends up ruining you. If you grabbed napkins, you manage your image. You still indulge, but in secret. You'd rather hide your desire than risk being judged. If you licked it off your hand, you turn mess into pleasure. You're not afraid to make it part of the experience. If you let the ice cream drip, 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 you dissociate. You stand back and watch the chaos of desire unfold. And if you just throw it out, you cut yourself off the moment things get too raw, revealing, or risky. You're at home minding your business when you notice your drinking glass on the counter. At first glance, it looks normal, but when you hold it up to the light, you see a thin crack running down the side. You realize you've been sipping from this glass for weeks without noticing the crack. What's your first reaction when you see that crack? You suddenly feel thirsty, so you fill the glass with water. Do you drink out of it right away, or do you wait to see if it holds? The crack begins to spread. Water starts dripping onto the counter. What do you do? Finally, the glass gives out completely. How do you throw it out? The cracked glass is every relationship you've ever tested for leaks. How you react to the crack, the spill, and the break is exactly how you treat red flags, vulnerability, boundaries, and endings. Basically, you're all attachment style, but make it drinkware. Your initial reaction to the crack is how you deal with flaws, warning signs, and trust. If you downplayed it, you're the type who sees red flags and says, "Cute, I can work with that." Sometimes it's loyalty, usually it's self-betrayal. If you examine the crack, you're cautious. Receipts, analysis, endless pros and cons. This is smart, but you also risk paralysis analysis and missing the moment. Or, if your first impulse was to throw it away, You are ruthless about self-protection. One flaw, one betrayal, and it's done. That keeps you safe, but it also means you rarely see the beauty in things that aren't perfect, including people. Whether you drank the water or held back reveals your relationship to vulnerability. Drinking right away means you'd rather risk the fallout than miss the taste of connection. You lean in even when you know you might bleed. It can be brave, but it can also mean you're in denial. If you held back, this is hypervigilance. You don't let anyone meet you unguarded, not until you are 99% sure it won't blow up, and it still will. How you handle the leak demonstrates your empathy and your boundaries. If you tried to fix the glass, you're the unpaid therapist. You pour yourself into broken containers, hoping your love will glue people back together. But be real, sometimes you are building homes inside flood zones. If you let the water spill, that's detachment. You don't interfere or claim responsibility for someone else's mess. This is healthy until it turns into emotional ghosting. Not my mess is your motto. What you did when the glass finally broke is how you handle your endings. If you threw the glass away cleanly, you value closure and like to end things in a respectful way. If you hid the glass or swept it aside, you avoid direct conflict and would rather disappear than confront. And if you smashed the glass or destroyed it, you torch bridges, salt the earth, and dare anyone to rebuild. It's late at night, and your phone glitches. The lock screen flashes strange numbers before settling on a countdown timer. You don't know what it's counting down to, but your gut tells you that when it hits 0, something in your life will end forever. Now tell me, how much time is left on the countdown? As you watch the numbers decrease, a sudden sense of urgency flares up within you. What's the very first thing that occurs to you to do with the time that you have left? Just as you finish your thought, your phone buzzes once, a single notification. Who is it from? As you feel the inevitability of the timer running out, which emotion grows strongest inside you? And then the screen blinks. The final digit hits 0. What happens? Very good. Now, the countdown is your subconscious clock, a mirror of how you secretly believe time, aging, and endings are shaping your life. Every detail you imagined reflects the story you've been telling yourself about mortality and meaning. How much time you had left on the countdown reveals your internal expiration date. If it was minutes or hours, you may be living like the clock has already run out, panicked, desperate, afraid youth and possibility have slipped through your hands. If you saw years, you may be cushioning yourself in denial, pretending that aging won't hit as hard as it will. The first thing that occurs to you to do with the time left is the ghost of what you've been neglecting. If you threw yourself into work or creating, you are scared of fading away, invisible. No mark, no legacy, just dust. If you chose love or intimacy, you are haunted by the thought of never being fully seen or desired, skin to soul. If you reached for family, your deepest fear is loss, that the people you anchor yourself to will disappear before you can hold them tight enough. If you wanted to escape, distract, party it away, you're scared of adulthood locking you into a version of yourself you don't want. And if you did nothing, just waited, that's not peace, it's burnout. The person who popped up in that notification is someone you secretly crave as your witness at the end. If it's an old crush or an ex, yeah, you don't actually want them gone. You want them choking on regret, wishing they hadn't fumbled. If it's your mom, your dad, or someone you always needed approval from, that's your shadow begging, even in the final moment, to be loved and validated. And if it's a total stranger, or worse, an enemy, that's your subconscious confession that sometimes fear, obsession, even forbidden attraction can hit harder than love. The emotion you felt at the timer running out reveals your raw truth about aging. If it was relief, you might be flirting with self-destruction. If it was terror, you're convinced your value drops the second time leaves a wrinkle on you. If you were calm, you want to stop performing and proving yourself and just give in. If it was regret, you've been stalling your real life and gambling on time that you don't actually believe that you have. What you pictured at 0 is your worldview laid bare. If it was death, you believe life ending is the only guarantee. If it was a fresh start, you're not about confrontation. You're addicted to escape and reinvention. And if it was nothing, death doesn't scare you. Meaninglessness does. Now, I want you to imagine that it's late at night, and you're in a quiet house, completely alone. As you walk past a window, you notice that the curtains are open. Which room of the house are you in? Which room? Outside of this window, in the moonlight, there is someone standing perfectly still, looking directly at you. What's the first thing you do when you see them? You can't see their expression clearly, but you realize you know exactly who it is. Who is the person outside? The figure doesn't leave. They're still waiting, watching. Do you let them inside? Thank you. Here's what it reveals. The image of a quiet home at night represents your inner world when all distractions fall away. Being completely alone strips you down to your most unguarded state. This setting symbolizes the moment where your subconscious steps forward and the things you usually keep in the background have space to appear. What happens next in this silence reveals who or what you're really willing to let into the most private corners of yourself. The room you are in reflects where you feel the most psychologically vulnerable. For example, if you were in the bedroom, that is the innermost sanctum of the psyche. It's where you sleep, dream, and experience sheer vulnerability. It is also the space tied to sexuality, intimacy, and the unconscious mind. If your mind places you here, it often reveals an unresolved push-pull dynamic, the craving to be seen for who you truly are, and the fear of exposure or judgment when you're at your most defenseless. This choice can suggest a deep longing for emotional or erotic connection, but also shame, secrecy, or trauma around being observed in a private state. You may crave intimacy, but struggle with trust. Now, if you were in the kitchen, your subconscious might be grappling with how much of yourself you give to others, and whether your role as a provider, nurturer, or stabilizer has consumed parts of your individuality. You might feel guilt or pressure around family obligations, gender roles, or caretaking expectations. Or maybe you are in the living room, the stage of the self, where you wrestle with anxiety about reputation and approval. You might feel constantly observed, evaluated, or misunderstood by society, peers, or family members. This placement suggests your psyche feels pressure to maintain masks or roles. It often ties to imposter syndrome, fear of rejection, and image management. The bathroom is the one place where the body can't be edited or disguised. It's a space where shame and self-acceptance collide. It can point to shame around the body and secrecy, while simultaneously reflecting a deep longing to be accepted in the mess, or loved without performance and seen without disguise. And your first reaction when you see the person mirrors how you handle an intrusion into your inner world. Did you close the curtains? Then you're likely fiercely protective of your privacy and your boundaries. You'd rather shut people out than risk being exposed. Did you freeze and stare back at them? You feel a mix of curiosity and fear when confronted with vulnerability. You're drawn to the very things you resist. Maybe you moved closer or even opened the window. Your subconscious is magnetized to danger. You're more willing to embrace risk than you'd like to admit. If you retreated or called someone, you rely on external protection or validation when your defenses feel weak. You don't trust yourself to fully manage your fears alone. The person outside is the person your subconscious most wants slipping past your defenses. This is someone you want to see your raw, unguarded self. If it was a parent, mentor, authority figure, your psyche has tangled intimacy with power and approval. It may not be a literal lust, but it is a dangerous hunger for validation. The forbidden thrill of wanting to be chosen, noticed, even dominated by them. If it was an ex, a crush, a lover, that door isn't shut no matter what you tell yourself. The fact that they are outside shows you still want them close enough to watch you, but not close enough to fully enter your life. You want the heat without the mess, the thrill without the commitment. And if it was a stranger, your subconscious is sick of the familiar. You are craving escape and maybe even danger. Someone to rip you out of who you've been. It's less about them and more about your desperate itch to be transformed. If it was an enemy or someone you fear, that's the most revealing of all. It means that this person has taken up prime real estate in your mind. The line between hate and fascination has blurred, and your psyche may even be flirting with attraction to their power over you. Did you let them inside? This is your subconscious decision on whether you're willing to integrate what they represent into your life. If you said yes, you are ready to embrace the risks, the taboos, or the desires that may come with them. It may indicate a subconscious readiness for transformation into intimacy, even confrontation. If you said no, you're not ready to face the consequences. You're protecting yourself, but you're also denying a part of yourself that you need to be acknowledged in order to grow. And that's a wrap on your field trip into the back rooms of your brain. Kokology isn't about getting the answers right. It's about the weird, random stuff your subconscious blurts out when it thinks no one's watching. And now you know a little more about the patterns that are running the show. Remember, this isn't therapy, but it is a fun mirror. If something hit a little too close to home, maybe that's just your brain saying, hey, look at me. So take a breath, shake it off, and return to reality as normal. Just don't be surprised if your next ice cream feels a little bit loaded. Until next time. Did I just hear you say more Kokology, or did you say, wait, what is Kokology again? Kokology is part therapy session, part fever dream. It's designed to sneak past your logical brain and go straight into your subconscious mind to expose your deepest desires and drives, like a Trojan horse with lipstick on. And I have 3 scenarios for you today. I will lay them out for you and then ask you follow-up questions about them. You have to answer honestly and immediately. No overthinking, no trying to sound cool. Pretend you're texting with your best friend at 2 a.m. after a night out. That's the level of honesty we need right here. Once we're through with all 3 scenarios, you might just understand parts of yourself a little bit better, but full disclaimer, I invented each of these scenarios myself, no ChatGPT, just my mind and a little bit of research on psychological symbols. So, this is not a valid psychometric test. I am not a doctor, and this is not certified or licensed device. This is just for fun, okay? JFF. But I do bet it resonates, so you have to tell me if it does. Okay? Let's get into it. First scenario. You sit down for breakfast in the afternoon because you slept in. There's no breakfast on the table, but you just have a feeling that someone's gonna set something delicious down in front of you soon. Why else would there be a knife, a fork, and a spoon in front of you? So tell me, which eating utensil do you grab first? The knife? The fork? The spoon? If you chose the knife, there is someone or something that you need to cut out of your life. Are you avoiding taking the appropriate and necessary steps toward cutting out this energy? Hack it away if you have to. But it's got to go. It no longer serves you. And if you take a closer look at that knife, inspect it. Really look at that knife. How does it look? Is it a basic run-of-the-mill dinner knife? Is it tarnished? Is it plastic? A steak knife? Something sharper? The knife type tells you everything that you need to know. If it's the average stock knife, you're dealing with a situation that's similar to something that many people experience. If the knife is tarnished, this is a person or situation that once felt bright and brand new, but has since lost its value or even become a corrupt influence on you. If the knife is plastic, you're dealing with something fake. Maybe someone who sees you as disposable, but it could also go reverse. Perhaps this is a person, a habit, a situation that you can toss in the trash without second thought. A steak knife. You're gonna have to put in some work to cut things off. And a sharpened knife. A nice clean cut. If you chose the fork, you're practical. You know what you want. You know what you need. But do you know how to get it? Where long-term goals are concerned, you might be missing some steps. This is a sign to put in more effort mapping, planning, and cross-checking. You can't expect things to line up for you, but you also need to realize the necessary steps and give yourself a realistic time frame to achieve everything from start to finish. That includes informing everyone to make sure that they're on the same page too, if your goal involves more than just you. And also revisiting your framework often, revising wherever is necessary, and keeping everything else on track with your greater goal. The fork can also forecast that you're going to have to fill in the gaps by shouldering some of the work that's usually done by other people, basically carrying the weight of your dreams in their absence. If you reached for the spoon, you're in a stage of life where you're experiencing a deep need or desire to be looked after and cared for. Essentially, you're exhausted and you kind of just want to be spoon-fed. You might be struggling with a chronic illness or just burnt out from an imbalance of all work and no play. Whatever it might be, you want to eject from survival and scramble mode and surrender to thoughtlessness. You fantasize about living in a reality where everything is already scheduled and prepared for you. You just have to be there. Now entering our next scenario. It might have been your idea, or maybe it was your friend's, but somehow you find yourself on a farm. Does the thought of being on a farm automatically make you feel itchy? Yes or no? If your initial response to the idea of a farm is to itch or reach for the closest allergy medicine, you might want to investigate any underlying conditions. If you've never explored the cause behind your body's allergic responses, now is the time. This will save you a lot of trouble in the future. All itchiness aside though, you look around the farm and you see a pen with antelope, a pen with foxes, and a pen with donkeys. How far apart are the pens from each other? What's the approximate proximity of the pens to each other? And which animal, antelope, fox, donkey, which do you visit with first? Is your first instinct to pet that animal, to feed it, or to free it? As you visit with your chosen animal, you hear the call of a nearby owl. You look around to try to locate the owl, and as you do, you find a falcon watching you from the branch of a nearby tree. And then if that's not enough, there's a crow perched on the pen right in front of you. Owl, falcon, crow. Which of these birds do you resonate with the most? You instinctively hold out your arm to see if the bird will land on it. It flies toward you immediately. It lands on you, cocks its head to the side, and stares into your eyes. Somehow it imparts a message directly into your mind. Telepathic birds. What is the message? What does that bird say to you? Here's what the farm reveals about you. How distant the pens were from each other demonstrates your ability to differentiate between and fully immerse yourself in new experiences. The closer the pens are to each other, the more that you paint new canvases or situations with an old palette and a hardened brush. For example, whenever you visit a new environment, do you often find yourself saying, "This place reminds me of," insert different environment from your past year. For example, if you visit the Amalfi Coast in Italy, would you say, "Oh, this reminds me of Big Sur"? Or even if you go and eat at a new restaurant and its lighting or its design reminds you of something else, do you then proceed to bring that up and get lost in memories of the past for several minutes? Having pens in closer proximity to each other might also indicate an unconscious predisposition to project previous relationship patterns onto new relationships, or to look for similar traits of past lovers when dating someone new, or even compare the two to each other. The animal you visited first symbolizes an energy that you are currently downplaying or keeping repressed and contained. Whether you pet the animal, fed it, or freed it indicates what exactly this energy wants from you. If you pet it, the energy needs to be nurtured and given space to emerge. If you fed it, you need to actively weave this energy into your life. And if you freed it, you need to allow this energy to boldly move through every part of your life and influence your decisions. Now, the antelope is a courageous, active energy that moves towards its goals and its dreams. The antelope doesn't wait, it moves. So this asks you to get out of your head, stop overthinking, and start being decisive, but also flexible with your actions. You can adapt to any setbacks, and you can fluidly maneuver through life's twists and turns, because the antelope prospers in difficult conditions and circumstances, which means that you absolutely can too. This is adopting a do-it-now mindset. This is where you make something from absolutely nothing. You are in control of creating your own opportunities. Remember that. And now foxes. Foxes draw upon their intelligence and their wit to navigate challenges, especially where deception and illusion are concerned. If you're facing a difficulty of any kind right now, the fox asks that you strategize and outsmart whatever it is that stands in your way. You can trust your gut to guide you to where you need to go, because the fox is highly independent and self-reliant. It's also a huge fan of using flattery, charm, and a playful nature to get what it wants, which means that maybe this isn't the time for you to play strictly by the rules. If you went to see the donkeys, it's time for you to sit down and be humble. Check that ego at the door. An ego death is probably in order. There's a great need for you to take things slow and steady. Do not rush. Put up your boundaries. Be more cautious. Lean into taking on a heavier load and not being recognized for it. Your responsible side is begging to be put to use. Not all situations are meant to be your stage or even meant for forward motion. There is a silent strength to be gained through patience and perseverance. And the ADHD moment with all those birds at once. Each bird represents a current dominant energy that you need to transcend. So where the animal is a repressed energy that you're meant to embrace, the bird is an energy that you currently need to overcome. If you resonated most with the owl, there's a part of you that's trapped in isolation and caught in obsessive loops. You withdraw into thought and you find yourself circling the same ideas over and over, ruminating on the past or convincing yourself there's always more to learn before you can begin. But this endless analysis is the very thing that keeps you caged. The owl tells you You have seen and studied enough. Its message is to grow comfortable with the unknown and start embodying what you already know. If you chose the falcon, you are ambitious and laser-focused. But when this energy becomes too dominant, it can turn into impatience, tunnel vision, and a need to dominate outcomes. Choosing the falcon means you have to loosen your grip on control. You need to create space for collaboration and lean into unexpected detours. This means trusting the timing of things rather than forcing them. It asks you to stop the constant striving and move from domination to harmony. Pair power with trust. Pair speed with patience. Pair precision with perspective. If you resonated with the crow, there's a part of you that hides behind cleverness or wit or a constant reinvention. This is a piece of you that stays safe because it shapeshifts or it outsmarts rather than risking being vulnerable. Crows are brilliant problem solvers, and they are equally at home in shadow and in light. But in their shadow form, their adaptability can look like avoidance, second-guessing, deflecting with humor, or slipping away before the real transformation happens. Real transformation requires depth, but also embodiment, and courage to be seen, really seen. It's time for you to step boldly into the body that you're meant to inhabit. No more disguises. And the message that the bird imparts directly into your mind is a message that your unconscious is desperately trying to get you to hear. This is the message you've been ignoring. So what was it? Even if you think it's off topic and ridiculous, I guarantee you if you look a little bit deeper into it, you will find the meaning. Because there is always meaning there. Our third and final scenario. You find yourself walking through a forest, the softest forest you've ever seen. And by that I mean the colors are vibrant and calm. The air feels warm and perfect. There are flowers blooming everywhere. There are no insects in sight. You feel full body peace. You're safe here. So you allow yourself to get curious, and you wander deeper and deeper and deeper until you stumble out into a clearing. In the center of this clearing is a doorway that's made from pulsating light beams. Can you describe the doorway? How does it look to you? And what feelings does it bring up for you? You decide to step into this doorway, and you lose all sense of gravity. You're now weightless and floating in something that's not exactly space. It's more like a vast starlit puddle of water. How much do you move around this unique space? And how does that movement make you feel? The puddle starts to gently spiral you toward a glowing central vortex. Do you resist the pull, or do you surrender? What happens as you get closer to the center? When you emerge from the vortex, you find a version of yourself waiting on the other side. What are they doing? How do you feel in their presence? Well, the starlit petal reflects the most intimate layers of your erotic self. The glowing doorway represents your relationship with desire, and whether that feels inviting, intimidating, mysterious, or overwhelming, reveals how you perceive your own sexual curiosity. How you moved in the star puddle reflects how you explore and express personal pleasure. Those who float freely and explore every sensation often have a healthy, curious relationship with self-pleasure. Those who hesitate or stay still may have more reserved or conflicted feelings about it. The glowing central vortex is a metaphor for the climax. Whether you surrender or resist it mirrors how easily you allow yourself to reach pleasure, alone or with others, and how much control you try to maintain at the height of arousal. The self you meet at the end is your erotic reflection. How you feel about them and what they do mirror your relationship with self-intimacy. If they reach out to touch you, it may reflect a natural and frequent self-pleasure practice, one where you nurture and connect with yourself quite regularly. If they simply watch you, it might show that you pleasure yourself a little less frequently, or that there's a distance between your physical desire and how you allow yourself to express it. If you feel shame, hesitation, or disconnection, there may be hidden beliefs that shape your approach to pleasing and to pleasuring yourself. Are you ready to feel good? Right now, right here. You don't have to go anywhere. You don't need anything but you. And an openness to dive deep within yourself, to recall positive memories. Can you do that? Did you know your brain doesn't even distinguish between a real experience and a vividly remembered or imagined one? That's what we are going to work with today. We are going to recall positive memories because they activate the feel-good neurotransmitters in your brain. Dopamine and serotonin, I'm sure you've heard of them. We're going to make those your very best friends, because when they turn on, you experience a boost in your mood, your nervous system, and your physical health, because you're in control. You, yes, you, I'm talking to you, you, can trigger your own neurochemical boost without any drugs, with just your mind, which helps reduce anxiety over time, just so you know. And the more you access these joyful or empowering memories, the more you train your brain to create optimistic pathways that make it easier for you to naturally stay calm in the future. Does this sound like a bunch of hogwash? The more impossible it seems, the more obvious it is that you just haven't practiced. And it can feel hard at first. It can feel really uncomfortable. But the more discomfort, the bigger the reward, baby. The discomfort is a sign of the eventual payoff. So the more uncomfortable you are, the larger the reward. This is slow gratification. I know. You're so used to it being instant gratification or best, but I promise want to feel that memory as if it were happening to you right now. And if you want to take it a step further, see if you can amplify how good it feels. Just keep trying to up the ante as much as you can. There are no limits. Truly, there are no limits. The only limits are the ones you give yourself. Remember, your brain does not distinguish between what's real and what's imagined, so you are in control. Getting nice and comfortable now, okay? Nice and comfortable, comfortable. Taking a deep breath in and out. Very nice. Relaxing into your body. Relaxing into your skin. Putting a hand on your chest, telling yourself, I am safe here. I am safe here. I am safe. And just feeling very good. Very, very good now. And let's start recalling our first memory, okay? And starting with our first memory, starting with something nice and easy to warm up your memory. I want you to recall a memory of a delicious taste. Maybe it's your favorite food or a special dessert that you've enjoyed before. But bringing that special taste into your mind now. What did it taste like? Did it melt slowly on your tongue? Or maybe it woke your mouth up with a little zing. Was it comforting and familiar? Just let that flavor build, layer by layer. Let your tongue remember the texture, the aftertaste, and just keep letting the memory rise, not just in your mind, but in your body. Make it so real that you can taste it again. Delicious. Absolutely delicious. Beautiful. Next. Let it surround you. Let the moment come through. Enjoying this feeling, enjoying this feeling, enjoying this feeling as you remember the sound clearly. Stay with the sound. Lovely. And now, a memory of something beautiful that you saw. A beautiful scene that took your breath away. Let this image return to you now. Not just what it was, but how it looked. The way the light moved across it. The shadows, the shapes, the textures. Bathe in this scene as you remember it. Let the scene rebuild itself in your mind now. Bathing yourself in this beauty, letting it fill you. So nice. Recalling a memory now of a comforting physical sensation. Something that you felt that flooded you with a sense of ease and comfort. Not just what it was, but how it felt. Was it warm, soft, smooth, or was it the weight of it? Let your skin remember this now. Feel the way your body received it. Did your shoulders drop? Did your breath deepen? Let that comfort return to your body in exactly the same way it arrived before. Soothing, steady, familiar. Feeling it again, right here, in this moment. Wonderful, you're doing great. Now that we've warmed up the senses, let's move into different emotions. Moving into a memory now of a time when someone was kind to you, or you were kind to them. Kindness comes in so many forms. It could be a stranger helping you out of nowhere, or maybe you doing something kind for someone who needed it. Let that moment begin to surface slowly, and gently, as if kindness itself is showing you the way back. Let the energy of that moment glow softly in your mind. The feeling of being seen You were caught off guard in the best way. Let that feeling wash over you again. It's still yours. You've gathered so many heartfelt memories. Now we're going to shift our focus to important moments. Okay? Recalling now a memory of accomplishing something challenging or achieving a goal. Think of a moment you worked hard, really hard, and you finally succeeded. A time where you worked steadily, quietly, maybe even painfully towards something that mattered. And then you got there. Let that memory come into focus now. It's not just about what you achieved, but what it took. The effort, the persistence, the part of you that kept showing up even when it was hard. Maybe it took weeks, months, maybe even longer. But then, that breakthrough moment, let yourself feel the release, the relief, the rush of knowing that you made it through. Remember the satisfaction that you felt. Let your body remember that feeling of pride. You earned that feeling. Own that win. Now, thinking of a memory of a celebration, a moment filled with joy. Picture the scene building around you again. Can you feel the energy? The buzz that says this is a day to remember. Let yourself sink into that feeling of being surrounded by laughter, by love, by something worth celebrating. first step, the first taste, the first movement forward. The moment that you said yes to the unknown. And with it came a rush, a thrill, a jolt of aliveness. Let that sense of possibility arise in you. Good. Now, recalling a memory of receiving a special gift. A moment when someone gave you something and you felt truly seen. Let that memory start to bloom. Not just the object itself, but the way that it was given. Who gave it to you? What was on their face? Playfulness, shyness, excitement. Did you laugh, tear up, go speechless? Let yourself replay that exchange. The moment just before you knew what it was. And the wave of emotion as you realized what it meant. In that moment, someone had thought of you deeply, intentionally. Let the feeling of being chosen, remembered, loved, fill your body now. Let the gratitude wash through you again. And now, think of a memory of giving a special gift or surprise to someone else. A time when you offered something from the heart. Not just a present, but a little piece of yourself. Let that memory rise gently in you now. The moment you chose it, or made it, or planned the surprise. Think about the details, the timing, the way you imagined their face when they'd see it. Did you feel a little nervous? Hopeful? Did you smile just thinking about their reaction? And then the moment came. Let yourself replay the reveal. Did they gasp, laugh, go quiet? Can you still see their eyes lighting up? Feel the warmth between you. Let yourself feel the gift of giving. That you made someone feel seen, loved, remembered. That moment may have passed, but the love behind it didn't. It's still alive right there in your memory. Let yourself return to that moment of discovery when something clicked, when the unfamiliar started to feel like yours. Maybe your mind was full of doubt, but then slowly, steadily, you felt it shift. Let yourself feel what you felt. The clumsiness, the focus, the spark of, oh, I'm doing it. Your body learned something. Your mind grew. You stepped into something new with courage and grace. Let that realization hold you now. Re-experiencing that moment of pride and growth. And now, a memory involving a hobby or a passion that you enjoy. Something that brought you into the present moment, where time seemed to soften and everything else just faded. Let your mind light up with that thing you love or used to love to do. The rhythm of it, the repetition, the quiet satisfaction of being with yourself through creation, movement, play. Picture just one specific moment, and let yourself return to that feeling of flow, of being so focused, so content, that you almost forgot where you were. That is your joy, your curiosity, your creative life force. Feel that fulfillment. Feel it. And recalling a time now that you felt at peace in nature. Letting yourself return to a moment when the world felt still. And you felt part of it. Calm and connected. Can you see where you were? Can you see the colors? The earth tones, the golden sun, the shadows. Letting that deep calm wash over you again. Letting your breath match the pace of that moment. Slow, easy, grounded. Letting the calm you felt then settle into your body. Now, this memory holds you gently. There's no need to do anything. Just be. Recalling a memory now where you felt deeply connected to someone or something. This is a maybe just a quiet spark that you couldn't name. Let yourself replay it. The first words exchanged, the way their voice sounded. The way they looked at you. The feeling in your body before anything even began. And now, smile, knowing what came next. How that person became part of your story. How far you came together from that one simple beginning. Let this memory hold you now, softly and sweetly. And bringing to mind a memory that never fails to make you smile. It can be anything big or small, but it lives inside you like a little burst of joy. Take that memory and replay it in detail. Feel the release it gave you. That moment when joy didn't need to be earned. Notice how your body remembers, in the warmth behind your eyes, in the way your shoulders soften, in the gentle curve of your lips. Let yourself linger in it. And now, recall a memory that you treasure deeply, a moment that you cherish more than most. You hold this memory close to your heart, maybe closer than anything else. It doesn't have to be grand. It just has to be yours. Take your time. Let your body lead you there. Let yourself be there again, fully. Let the love rise back through you like waves, like warmth. Let it hold you. Let it remind you who you are and what matters most. scenario.